So this is what I believe is coming to me today. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? Just because something is hidden doesn't mean that it's missing. Now, what do I mean by this? It seems to be that in darkness you cannot see, and so there's many speculations about what truth is. And we can often be in this place where we're easily deceived in the dark to believe something is missing on our end. And in what is missing on our end, what is lacking on our end, it seems to be this open space for anything to just be there. And we're saying, oh, this is what's missing, and this is what's missing, right? A lot of what is being preached or whatever has that approach where it points to something that is missing and says, this is how we fill this space. But it's not very good. And I don't think it's going to bring long-lasting freedom to anyone. And I don't think that's how the Holy Spirit works. I mean, he works in that and relationally with you there, but I don't think that's his ultimate goal, right? I think what the Holy Spirit is really, really good at is revealing to you the truth that has always been true. The things that have been hidden from you because it hasn't been your time to see them, to know them. That actually makes obsolete everything that people try to fill the void in the dark with, right? A lot of preaching is just like I just saw one today, and it sounds good, and it feels inspirational, and it feels like it gives you a sense of purpose because then you have something to apply in your life. But to me, it just ends up with just bondage. Strip everything away, and what you have at the end of the day is just a practice where you were trying to be capable. But I believe the solution, and this is something that the Holy Spirit must bring you into, like he's bringing me into, is seeing how capable he is. That when he frees you, he frees you. It just seems to take longer. You have to go through the valley of weakness, right? The valley of sorrow. You have to go through these places. It has to cost you something. There's something in like the new church or something where we're trying to get people to be convicted or whatever. Or we're calling out a lack of conviction. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine in some sense. But the Holy Spirit will convict you. And when I mean convict you, I mean show you what is true, not what is shameful about you that you need to get together or find some kind of practice means to an end to be better. It's not that. He doesn't work like that. I don't believe that he does. He will convict you on what is good, and what is good will judge what has been perverted, right? The light of his goodness will judge that of what you've believed in the dark, usually some kind of perversion of goodness. I'm finding that with God, the more I walk with him, the more I see I am okay, because I've always been okay, because this perspective of me has never changed, that actually it requires a lot less for me to carry. It doesn't mean it's the easier road, because you are greatly humbled when you find that you have been in the dark and you cannot see, right? And God has it, right? And what he sees seems to be the substance, right? But what we see is what we can't see is how we're walking by faith. But there's so much preaching on there, just preaching on TikTok and just everywhere that sounds good. It will make you feel motivated and inspired to go and do something, right? And if that's where you are, that's where you are. If that's where you are, that's where you are. Because you're only going to be in a different place when the Holy Spirit takes you to a different place. That's how this works. We can't move the needle at all. And I think this is what makes us appropriately weak. At least this is what I'm banking on, right? It's the God that is revealing himself to me. And I'm coming to find that he's not giving me more things to do. He is bringing me into the awareness of what has always been true. My wholeness in him is what is not allowing me to be tempted with picking up doctrine that has me basically running around in circles trying to make myself better. It's these speculations of men and women in the dark to fill the void. But when you turn on the light, you don't have to fill the void anymore. when the light is turned on. And this seems to be his power in your weakness that turns on the light. And so you have to be in position for that. Because if you think the light's already turned on, like, you got to be shown that you need understanding. You need, like, it's not for, you need to do something else and you need more self-control and self-discipline and more self-management. No, you need to know the truth that will reverse engineer everything and set you free from your core. You need to see how he's always seen you. But it'll be those that are found in darkness that seems to attract a measure of light. But I think that we want to get away from this. We feel ashamed of how we've been deceived. We feel ashamed of what we don't know. Because we've been accused in the dark to believe we're lacking if we're, not where we're supposed to be or something. And so there's many popular messages that use the truth, right? But it's the approach that if you boil it down, what that believer is taking into the week ahead of them is something to do. Not being convicted in their weakness that calls upon his light to reveal the truth at the right time, right? It's like I don't think that we're convicted by our bad behavior. We're convicted of the truth that judges our bad behavior and says, where did you learn this? Where is your understanding that has you settle for such small things? But it does not shame you, because the truth seems to say, I, the Father, have always seen you correctly. You do not see yourself correctly. So you are walking by faith to what? To see what has always been seen by me. To be brought into the reality of how I've always felt about you. And that is going to make like 99% of the teaching that you hear on TikTok and at churches obsolete. Because it's not going to be framed, it's not going to have this approach of what to do and what not to do. It's going to be this place where leaders lead it by their weakness and say, I could never know this until it was revealed to me. Now I am showing you the way in which things are revealed. It will be revealed in your weakness, right? You will feel helpless. You will feel desperate. You will feel in need, right? And in this place, I think it's just going to separate the wheat from the tares. Are you desperate enough yet? Are you in need enough yet? Has the Holy Spirit revealed the truth to you that's set in the fear of the Lord, right? Are you convicted authentically? Not based on you did something bad and you feel bad about it, and some pastor comes with like a shameful approach that says you shouldn't be doing that. And then you're like, I've been convicted. I'm like, I don't think that's what conviction is. But it's like, let the wheat be separated from the tares. I don't care. It's not that I don't care about their souls, but I know that it requires the Holy Spirit. And so in my weakness, I say, Holy Spirit, it's your way, not mine. I don't have a way of convincing myself to keep following you. It is by your grace. I don't convict myself. It is by your grace. And that seems to be what you can do. And I think this is where I'm going to make another video about this. The best thing that you can do for another person is live authentically. And you know how difficult it is whenever you've been told that a lie is true? And being dishonest with yourself has been what has been true to you for the longest time. There's a lot of layers to uncover, right? But that place where you were walking authentically and honestly with God. Not with the means to an end to lead others to him. No, you're just walking. That's all you can do. Okay, but then the burden is easy and the yoke is light, because you're not putting it upon yourself, but you are relying on the Holy Spirit, coming to know the honesty that is in your weak position, your fragile state, your humanness, your need for grace, your need for his power. Man, I love that.